Hey guys, another video. Today I will talk about the choice of my weapon and maybe glove choices, and it'll be more of like optimization. But I'll show you my gear first. Slash play 3 days, 13 hours. Slash deaths 24. So my gear is pretty much the same. Here's the ring and amulets quickly if you want to look over them. Same exact thing, didn't really change much. And I'll run a map for you. I ran mostly T12 today, and this is the Vagan dagger I used. It's just a 108 added fire total with a Vagan, and I multi-modded spell, attachment, crit. And the reason I took spell was actually because of Crown of Eyes. It increases the attack damage for every spell damage you get. So I mostly ran T12s today. You just have to dump a lot of money. The way I did it was I just rolled for double pack size. So this kind of map is okay too. This is quite high, 9614, but I'll show you like a double pack size. So as you can see, it just like burns through your chaos like an insane amount. But eventually you get something like this, at least double pack size, and you run kind of this stuff, and maybe you can sustain T12 barely, sort of, kind of, I can't really tell, but it's something. And you put onslaught for 20 quantity. If it's beyond, you can consider double beyonding it. It's not bad too. All the options are really not that bad for mapping right now. So yeah, so why am I using Vagan dagger? The reason is the hits can be evaded is a very powerful uh, gearing option and deeps option. So what I mean by this is the Vagan dagger hits can't be evaded, makes you absolutely not miss at all. So stuff like accuracy and chance to hit are irrelevant to you. So first thing, it just increases your likelihood of getting better gear because you don't have to consider stuff like accuracy on rings and amulet. It makes your gearing so much easier than if you were not to use it, and that alone is really convenient. But the thing is, it's also very high damage. Like I had a 370 damage dagger before, and spec'd 5 points about into like accuracy, and I was using 1 accuracy jewel, like 300 accuracy jewel, and I still had about the same damage as a Vagan dagger. So um, that's like a huge damage. Like I don't even know if you can beat Vagan dagger unless you get like some really good end game gear. So that's kind of that. But you should really just test it for yourself, because if you can get like really good accuracy rings and you can get like some sick dagger, like 400 deeps with like max attack speed and like really good crit or something like that, then I think that would be better in the end game. But for now, like if you're looking just for a sort of like something to get you to the level you want, and you don't really want to spend like a trillion exalts into your weapon, then Vagan dagger is actually not that bad. Try to get something with like added damage that would normally be bricked on the traditional cast and crit builds that Vagan daggers are used for. So if you can get like some added like 100 or something, or even like 70 total, it's not that bad, and it turns out to be quite good. So yeah, the main reason you actually want to do this is because it makes the gearing of your other pieces so much easier. Getting accuracy on rings or amulet is like just a pain, because it limits the availability of resistances, which you're really stretched on. Like you see, I have like the resist point bandit, and I also have the resist on all my jewels. Pretty ridiculous. So getting Vagan dagger like helps with that gearing a lot, and is really convenient. Now, the other choice I was going to talk about is what gloves to use. I'm using ES gloves because they provide a much better benefit than Malagaros or some straight damage gloves like Facebreakers. I don't think Malagaros is really good anymore. The multi you get is not even like high at all. It's 36 or something like that, which is pretty close to like 2 damage nodes worth of damage, and the crit you get is like essentially useless because you're pretty much crit cap with diamond or like really close to it anyway, so you don't need the crit at all, and 5 attack speed, maybe 1 point, and the dex is, almost useless as well. So I don't think battle galls are really good. Facebreakers is like 90 multiplier, which is about 6 points or so, and that's like alright. But the thing with energy shield gloves is, if I were to show you, I'm taking these off, I'm dropping by like almost 1300 ES, which is about nearly 10 points of ES if I were to pick up 6% ES nodes. And on top of that, I'm getting 12 attack speed, and I'm getting resistances, and you could possibly roll maybe accuracy if you want to use a Vagan dagger. So that's like worth 10 points of ES at least, and then another 3 points of attack speed, so nearly 13 points at least, and not including the resistance or other suffixes you can use. So the sorcerer's gloves or some sort of ES gloves really boost the deeps a lot. Not directly, but by giving you such freedom of points to use what you want. So for example, this is like when you start considering, why should I drop like damage for ES even though it's more efficient? It's because it's efficient that you want to do it, because if you get 12 points of ES over here, you can go on your tree and drop ES over here and get straight up damage, and this is like almost twice as efficient as a face breaker, or you know, getting nearly 3 times as efficient as a Malagaros. Then you can just like drop a whole bunch of ES on tree and then pick up the damage. Even though the tree efficiency is not as good as elsewhere, you still gain a net value of like maybe 5 or 6 points on your character. So I think energy shield gloves are really good. Maybe you can't get as high ES as this, but you know, at least you're getting attack speed and resistances, which is still worth it, I think, even for 200 energy shield gloves. The other option that you can do is, if you're not inquisitor and for other builds you can get facebreaker and get the corruption elemental weakness on hit. That thing will give you a lot of damage. I don't use that because I'm Inquisitor and Inevitable Judgment ignores resistances, so that's not an option for me. So I'm using Energy Shield gloves. And those are the reasons I chose these two sets of gear pieces. And maybe later, next video, I'll probably show you how to find out how much value, say, 36 Energy Shield is. 36 weapon elemental is to your total damage. But for now, I'll see you guys next time.